cool thing. If somebody pissed you off or you pissed yourself off and you want to get that emotion out, until we have, what are they called? Rage rooms? Yeah, that's one of my goals. I really want to open a rage room here because I think it would be a great productive way for us to get that energy out as opposed to keeping it in and then letting it manifest into all sorts of negative stuff. So to rage dance, you grab a pillow, you put on your favorite song. I like Encore, right? Yeah, it really gets me going, and I just punch the crap out of my pillow. You'll find that a lot of things will come up. It will come up, you'll know when to stop because you'll feel a relief, and it'll be like, oh, thank you. I got it out, nobody got hurt, and I feel better. So I encourage you to pick up the practice of rage dancing to help you process some of those angry emotions. And then your spiritual body, which allows you to feel connected to a greater purpose, to a greater power, and just allows you to tap in and also move through the world with your values being at the forefront, with your identity being at the forefront, right? Okay, so now these are just some practical ways that we can take care of our time and energy, right? So the morning energetic check-in every morning, this can be as long and as short as you need it to be. It can be 1 minute, it can be 5 minutes, just as long as you are intentional about doing it, right? Asking yourself, closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and saying, how do I feel today? And then acknowledging that, right? Without wanting to just change it and pretend like that's not how you really feel, right? Because that's also like bypassing the emotions, which we don't do over here. The next thing is energetic cord cutting. Now, I have this meditation that I created that allows you to visualize yourself in a space where you bring to your mind things, people, situations that are draining your life force, right? It could be stuff that you are conscious of. Sometimes when you're in a meditative state, other stuff comes up as well, subconscious stuff. But as long as you have the intention to release and cut cords with the things, with negative cords, then you would be able to get that experience in that meditation. It's about 15 minutes long, and at the end of it, you just feel like a completely different person. Because our energy is one of those invisible things, but you feel it. You know it when you feel it. The next thing is an energy bubble. Creating, visualizing an energetic bubble of protection around you before you leave the house, right? This energy that emanates from your heart center and it's coming out, encompassing your whole entire physical body. And that's how you move through the day. Nothing can penetrate your bubble, right? It's you taking care of you. And then productive rest, which I mentioned that there's unproductive rest. So the rest where perhaps you take the time to process whatever's on your mind before you take the act of rest, because otherwise your mind is just going to be running at 100 miles a minute and you're not really going to feel like you got real rest. And then Reiki. Reiki, I recently became an attuned Reiki practitioner, and Reiki energy is essentially the channeling of life force energy, which is in all of us, right? It's the energy that I'm talking about, but channeling it from source and at higher frequencies. And when the Reiki energy goes into your body, all it does is work to balance and correct anything that might be a little imbalanced. So if there's any stuck emotions, if there's any stuck beliefs, anything that needs to be worked out will come to the surface. The Reiki energy will go in there and correct and create balance. So this is an offering that I have. Shameless self-plug. Then, yeah, I'm taking a breath. So Reiki. Next up, we're talking about motivation. So motivation is really the driver of productivity. In order for us to be productive, there's got to be that something in behind us that's kicking us in the backside, encouraging us to keep moving forward, right? And most of us don't know how to cause motivation on purpose. And it's this sensation, motivation is really this sensation that's caused by our unconscious minds to tell us to do something, right? And once you understand that, you can tap into that and you can amplify that sensation of the instruction, the command from your mind to do something. So the way we currently see motivation creates a barrier for us in accomplishing what we want to accomplish, because we feel like it's something that is fleeting. It comes and goes. Nobody really has control over motivation. Have you seen her lately? And if we believe that this is something that we cannot cause on purpose, then that's already a block, right? But motivation is in fact something we can cause on purpose, because, and that's what I call purposeful motivation. Sorry. So if you lack motivation and find yourself saying that you should be doing something, I should be going here, I should be doing this, then I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. First of all, is this actually something that is interesting to you? Is it actually something that you desire? Because 9 times out of 10, we're just doing stuff, but we're not even connected to it. So how is motivation supposed to be present, right? So make sure that you care about the thing that you're doing. And then if it's interesting and something that you genuinely desire, then do you perceive it to be challenging? Like, do you think it's just so hard, it's gonna take so much work, so much effort? Like, does it just feel too big for you, right? And if it does feel too big for you, then you ask yourself, how can I break it down into smaller steps so that it's just an easy thing? I start right away. I begin right now, today, not tomorrow, today, right? And that's how you can affect and create motivation on purpose. Whoa. Where's my thingy? Okay, don't worry. I had a formula here, but I'm just going to continue to go through it. And then at the end, I believe it's going to pop up. So the formula for motivation, thank you, is vision. You've got to have a vision. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You just don't have a vision. So without a vision, there's no connection to the outcome. There's no fire in the belly. So ask yourself, why? Right? Y'all have heard this 1,000 times. What's your why? Why are you doing the thing that you're doing? What's the purpose? Because if you don't connect with it, it's going to be hard for you to start it, to continue it, to remain consistent. The next thing is pleasure, which often gets a negative connotation. Pleasure, defined, is a feeling of happiness and satisfaction, which I believe we should infuse into everything that we do. There must be enjoyment, huh? Like, it's the number one. This isn't required for success, but it's certainly required for motivation. So you can take any task that doesn't feel so good to do and then infuse some pleasure in there, and you'll be able to get it done, right? And you can do this. A simple example is washing dishes. Like, every damn day. And what I do is put on a show. I put on some series, even working out sometimes at home. I'll put on a series, and there's an element of pleasure. You're tricking yourself, but you're getting what you need to do done, which is more important. And then sustainability. Is it sustainable enough for you to continue hitting that target, to continue showing up, right? So one way you can think about this, and what I tell, hey, Lenny. Hi, sorry, I just noticed somebody who's part of one of my personal coaching programs. So instead of, and this is something I always tell them, instead of trying to finish the whole program, which is like a 16-week thing, break it down into what module you can, one module, one part, break it down. Like, you have the lifetime to do this stuff. There's no rush. Nobody's gonna finish before you. Break it down and just commit to a small, bite-sized chunk that you can in that minute. So ask yourself, how can I break it down for it to still feel interesting and enough for you to be able to do every day, right? So here's my formula. Consistent motivation. Your vision plus pleasure plus sustainability equals consistent motivation, right? Have that vision, create some pleasure in it, infuse it with music, with other people, whatever it is, and then make sure that it's sustainable by breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. Now, self-mastery. Self-mastery is really going to be the place where we bring everything that I've touched on together. We bring it all together. We are all co-creators in our lives, whether we want to believe it or have the awareness of it or not. And we co-create our realities through our thoughts, which affect how we feel, our emotions. Which create our emotions, which then create how we feel, which then ultimately determines the frequency, the vibration that you are carrying within yourself, right? Where are you vibrating at? I'm sure you all know energy is real, right? I think the one thing that we've heard is energy doesn't lie. Like when people don't feel right, like I'm going. It's not for nothing. You feel that, other people feel you, and it's important that we honor and acknowledge that. And this is how we co-create our reality. If you're vibrating at a frequency of lack and scarcity and fear and anxiety and all of these negative things, more often than not, your reality is just going to be a mirror for that. It's going to show up. It's going to be there. And whether or not you pretend that it's not happening, that's a whole nother story, right? So, self-mastery. So when was the last time that you sat in silence and enjoyed it? When was the last time we meditated? Show of hands. Today. Yesterday. Right? Such a simple thing that you can do, which is super uncomfortable at first. I know, I was through it. I've been really uncomfortable. I've been like, what the heck? Oh gosh, did I do it wrong? But it's such an important, valuable practice to have in your toolkit and something for you to do on a regular basis. Spend more time by yourself. Figure out what you actually like, because most of the times we're just like these little visions of what our parents wanted or what other people around us who raised us and have contributed to who we are. So figure out what your values are. What's your identity? What are your beliefs, right? What are your likes and dislikes? Taking time to sit with oneself, I believe, is the best thing that you can do. Take care of your physical body. Eat well. Meditate. Pray. Whatever relates to you, right? Move your body. Sleep. Actually sleep, right? Not just laying in bed scrolling. Sleep. Because the majority, and also learn how to process your emotions. Learn how to confront what you're feeling and not run away from it, right? Because the majority of disease that we experience, I believe this,